Hi, I'm Allie. Join me as I show you how to make this simple swirl necklace. It's going to be using some check beads, some crystals, seed beads, as well as metal spacers. It's a good refresher on how to do simple basic beading. This actually is one of the kits in this month's box, along with a bead weaving bracelet and set of earrings. So if you want to check out getting 3 kits in the mail, surprise to you, every month, you can go ahead and check below the video. In the description of the video, hit that show more button and it'll give you links back to our website. You can also find tons of fun and funky, what we call Potomac picks, check glass to create your own versions of fun, simple beaded necklaces. All right, so it's been a while since I've gone over the basics of beading, and I found some really cool check glass beads and wanted to use them in a subscription box and literally just make a really pretty necklace. So I made a sample here, and I'm gonna cut this one apart and show you all of the other options as well too. I'm mixing some really fun focal beads with some fun shapes as well as some standard designs. The wire I'm using for this is the 7-strand 0.018 inch in diameter. 7 strands means there's 7 pieces of stainless steel wire that is twisted together and then coated to form this thickness. You can also have 49 strand at this thickness. The higher the number of strands, the more flexible it's going to be. Because it's a heavier necklace, I'm not worried about the flexibility that much, honestly. 7 strand is just fine. When I'm cutting the wire, I want to cut how much I'm using plus like an additional 6 to 8 inches. If you're not sure exactly the length, give yourself a good 10 inches. You're gonna have a bead stopper, and this is gonna go onto the end of your wire as well. You can work right off the spool. I find that annoying, but it's up to you. Some people do it. So I'm gonna cut my beading wire. So I have a wire cutter here, and I'm gonna take my beading cable, which if you subscribe, you'll have more than just this project. So I figured you have extra beads, and this was a good opportunity to give you some beading wire. Go ahead and cut off your extra wire there. Put your spool cover back on so it doesn't come out. Put your bead stopper on by opening up. I always say in kids' classes, pull back there on Mickey's ear, put it on. And then I'm gonna put my wire guards and my crimp tubes and my lobster and ring off to the side because those are gonna be used at the end. All right, so how do I decide what I want the project to look like when I'm designing? Basic strung necklaces are usually pretty quick just to pick up the beads, so I design them about 4 to 5 different times before I'm usually happy with it. First thing to think about is length. Do I want this to be a necklace that's gonna be up here and it's gonna be about 16 inches? Do I want it to be a little bit lower? You have to decide that and kind of where you want the weight to be. I picked these really, really pretty 16 millimeter check glass beads, which have like a violet color in it and a black as well too. And in this first original design, kind of separated them out, keeping it a nice shorter choker and adding in and using some of my crystals, my check glass, my silver beads here, and I also have some silver seed beads I'm gonna throw in for the other sample. I did just tie this in a loop, so I'm going to recycle that wire. I didn't have a bead stopper nearby, so it's handy always if you have a bead stopper for it. I'm going to take all of these beads off now for that design. If you liked this one here, it was big bead, your daisy spacers on the side, crystal, rondelle, crystal, and then your black beads with daisy spacers as well. Taking these beads off now, I have a clean slate and I have a starting spot. One thing that you can do is concentrate all the weight to the bottom of the design if you want. So when you do that and you say, yeah, I really want the weight at the bottom of the design, then you're going to put all of those bigger beads at the bottom. You can also think about where your hair is going to be. If you always wear your hair down, it's going to cover the back, so don't bother to put really beads that you love back there. Another design that you can do after just kind of putting out this pile is to keep the beads close together. I have 5 of these, so I'm going to determine how far apart I want them to sit, and that's going to be my starter for this version. Then my next biggest bead is some amethyst 8 millimeter rounds, as well as some black check glass. And you can see I just kind of start building. My bigger beads are what I'm going to focus on first, and then I start building from there, adding in my smaller beads. The smaller beads basically fill the space, and I can figure out exactly how far I want things, what I want things to look like, etc. From here, after doing this, you can use a bead board for sure. I go in and I will start stringing just about the front 3 inches or so. That'll give me an idea if I love it, and I worry about the back kind of with whatever I have left and use that with it. I try to get a color variety as I'm working. So I look at it and say, okay, here is my silver, gray, black, and purple tones. I'm gonna bring some of my crystals in between there and get that nice little pop of more of that lighter color. Do I want these to have more color? Do I want to put some amethyst in between there or jet in between there? The first sample that I showed you had them spaced out more with the amethyst color and the jet in between. These I'm going to keep pretty close together here in the front and concentrate it a little bit more, almost making it like a graduated necklace.
Get a touch of elegance this February. Subscribe now and receive the Lavender Lily Chain Bracelet, the Simple Swirl Beaded Necklace, and the Velvet V Earrings. Plus, the bezeled beauty bracelet as a welcome gift. That's 4 jewelry kits for just $59.99, delivered free to your door. Cancel anytime. No risk, just inspiration. Subscribe now and experience the joy of handmade jewelry. Only from PotomacBeads.
All right, so now that I've got it kind of laid out, I have my silver beads, both my 8/0 silver seed beads as well as my daisy spacers, and I'm going to start at one end and see how I feel and if I like it. I'm going to take my crystal rounds and I put them between each one of those purple colors, and I'm going to put a silver bead next to my black faceted rounds. That's going to make it stand out a little bit more. You can see I still have a ton of beads up here, and I can use those towards the back of the design or redesign it as I'm working with it. In between here then I have, or I might even just use a bunch of silver seed beads up the back. Right, so here I just go in, I like to hold it with my left hand, I string with my right, and I start to see how I like the look and how it's going. And I put that down, string a little bit more, pick up my seed beads, and just keep going along the end. You can always take that bead stopper and move from one side to the other if you want to, so keep that in mind. If you love the design, great. If you hate it, start over. You really get a sense for it once you start stringing the design. It's really hard to see exactly what you want it to look like when they're not up close. Again, a bead board would help if you have that handy, but not necessary if you don't want to pick it up out of those little flocked crevices. I'm just using it on my bead on it board. I'm going to keep building, and I'll show you as I get strung here what it starts to look like. All right, as I'm getting into the project, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, I have kind of the middle strung and about 12 inches total that I can kind of see the look of here with the bead in the back. One thing I'm not crazy about is I want a little bit more of that lighter purple in addition to kind of that tanzanite purple up towards the front. So right now I'm going to keep the back the way that it is because I like that. I'm going to slide these beads off here, kind of keeping them in the order, easier to pick up them. And I'm going to now start to add in a little rondelle. So what I'm going to do is change it up slightly where I have my rondelle that's going to sit next to my daisy. That's going to sit next to my bigger check glass beautiful bead. Then I'm going to do my rondelle that's going to have a silver between it, and then that purple amethyst color, and then I'm going to repeat that with the daisy or the swirl, daisy, check glass bead, daisy, and then I start looking at it and I pull it back and say, do I like that better? And I say, yeah, I do like that better. I'm not crazy over how far they sit apart, so let me change that up a little bit. And the thing that's great about this is we're going to get to see everybody's design. Make sure you share yours in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making, because I think that will really show people how creative they can be with the exact same supplies. If you want to go for it too, you could take off of your supplies and do some bead weaving. No rules with this one. All right, here is our multi-strand bracelet as well. Here is a new design then that I'm looking at and saying, okay, do I like the look of this? And I do. It makes it closer having those beads there. So I'm going to keep going here and see if I continue to like that look, pulling in more of those rondelles towards the center. String a little bit more, see if I like the look of it. If not, pull it back out and redo it. That bead stopper can come off and on as many times as you like. All right, on about my 8th try, I found something that I really loved. So what I did is I took off the sides and I started concentrating on the middle. I knew I wanted 2 daisies there and then the next big bead. Contemplated about doing a black bead there too, but kept it light. Smaller bead with the 8 seed beads on either side. Daisy, rondelle, daisy, big bead, daisy, rondelle. So I only double the daisies here in the middle. And then at the end, I omit the daisies as I get through the pattern and get back to start bringing it down that the focal stays the focus. Here in the back then, I'm just going to continue carrying the color up, and I'm going to think about it as trying to keep it so that the spacing that I've established between the beads in the front color-wise is also what I'm establishing along the back. So I'm doing an 8 seed bead between each one to keep that nice silver look going, and separating out my black beads here with some little and big amethyst beads. Again, you can change this up and put all your concentration of your dark beads down the center and do the lighter beads towards the top. Completely up to you what you make and what you get finished for your necklace, what length it is, what look you're going for, etc. So I'm keeping most of my focus here on the front and then using my round beads at the back. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to make my necklace about 18 inches and then I'll show you how we're going to put on the clasp. So just to show, I've decided I like this length, which is about 17 inches, holding it up, kind of looking in the mirror, seeing if I want it lower or higher. And we're going to go from here and I'm going to show you how to put on the end. All right, back to this 2-camera view here. I'm going to put my stop bead on the end of one that I know that I have enough left over. And I'm going to go in here, I'm going to bring the camera close so you can see. And the first thing I'm going to do is put on a crimp tube. This is a 2x2 millimeter crimp tube. The next thing I'm going to do, and you don't have to do this, but I'm just showing you because you have the option. You're going to go up through the wire guard. You are then going to go down through the wire guard. As you go down through the wire guard, you're also going to pick up one end of your clasp. I'm going to go with my lobster clasp first. If you ever have it that your clasp doesn't quite fit over the hump, that's okay. You can go into your wire guard and actually just pinch it ever so slightly, and that will close it up that your lobster clasp will fit over. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down toward the project. And this is the first side, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm going to bring my crimp tube up. If you can, you're also going to bring your wire through the next couple beads. If you can't, it's not a huge deal. You don't have to worry about it. Make sure that clasp goes up into that wire guard area. Push that up towards the top. I'm just going to pinch with my fingers because I have that finger strength. Or you can go in with your pliers and just kind of pinch it a little bit. Lightly. We're not crimping or anything. We're just getting that closed. I'm then going to take my plier and I'm just doing a flat crimp. Crimping pliers are great, but if you don't get them exactly right, sometimes your crimp bead can open. So I prefer just to do a nice flat crimp. I'm just going to crimp down on that crimp bead, really flattening it out from one side. I flip over and I flatten out from the other side. Go into my extra wire there. I'm going to pull with a fair amount of force because I want that cut to kind of go in between the bead and kind of fall down that way. Now I'm going to flip over. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. On this other side though, we want to make sure we don't have any extra cord or any wire showing. On goes my crimp tube. On goes my wire guard. Again, you don't have to do the wire guard, but you can. I'm going to push that all down to about where it needs to be, which is going to make it easier to put on. I'm going to put on my loop there, feed that wire through the crimp tube through the next couple beads, and you'll notice I don't have it really tight there because I don't want it to be. I'm going to push it down into place. Crimp tube goes down next to your beads. Pull the extra wire through. So I'm holding the crimp tube down near where it needs to be for the bead next to the beads. I'm going to go in and just going to pinch this closed a tiny bit. Go in one more pull. I don't want it so tight that the beads can't move around, but I don't want it so loose that I see a lot of extra wire. Crimp down on that bead stopper, or that crimp tube rather. Grab your cutter and cut off the extra wire. Now, there are crimp covers that you can put on over the crimp tube. They're like a clamshell. You put them on so that the crimp tube is there, and then just close them over that crimp tube and they hide it. And I usually just keep it open. And that finishes off your beautiful necklace design. So hopefully you use the extra wire, you use the extra lobster and stuff, and use up some of your extra beads, and can't wait to see what you guys make. Thanks so much for joining me in creating this simple swirl necklace. Sometimes it's nice to just make something quick and easy that you'll know, that you'll wear. Do a refresher of those crimp beads and the wire guards and how you work them. And then have extra wire to sit down and make a couple other projects as well. If you do want to get a subscription box, go ahead and look below the video. In the description of the video, hit that show more button and it'll get you back to our website where you can find all the information that you need. As always, post pictures in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. We would love to see all the different versions of this necklace coming out of this month's subscription box. Thanks so much for joining us, and stay tuned for more inspirational designs.